Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lorie, and if this is your very first time joining us here, thank you so much for stopping by. First of all, we like to make videos all about the Christian faith, so we like to encourage you to spend time in God's Word and to learn how to apply it to your life. And so if that is something that you are interested in, I'd love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. And if you've been hanging out with us for a little while, you've probably noticed that I haven't made a video in maybe even a little over a month now. And so I wanted to share with you a little bit about what's been going on in my family's life. We have had some big changes that I wanted to share with you, and also about some things that I've been going through just in my own spiritual walk. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today in case you might be going through something similar. So let's start with the changes. Okay, about a month ago, my family started packing up and moving from Nashville, Tennessee to Mississippi, to the Jackson, Mississippi area. So we have now been in the Jackson area for a couple of weeks, and we're still kind of getting settled and everything. But obviously it takes a while to pack up everything, and it's just exhausting. It's just a lot of details that go into a big move. And, we had to take Tyler out of his school, which he loved. And for me, that was a lot of anxiety there because I knew how much he loved his school. And, I hated the fact that we were having to put him into a new school, like a month before he was going to be getting out for the summer. So that was pretty stressful for me just as a mom. But anyway, so we had to do that, and we had to, just stupid stuff like changing health insurance, changing just so many different things. And it exhausted me. Just like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. I just felt like totally, completely overwhelmed. And I have been feeling that because obviously even after you pack up and get someplace, you have to unpack, and sort of get into your new norm. And so that's what we've been doing here. And because of that, it really kind of put me into, it did, totally put me into what I refer to as the spiritual funk. I don't know what you call it. If you call it something else, put it in the comment section because I'd actually like to know. But that's what I call it. I call it being in a spiritual funk. And it really is just when you feel kind of like, meh, it's like you just, I don't know. I haven't cared about reading the Bible or really being in prayer a lot or going to church or just really I've done those things, but I haven't done them like I normally do them. I haven't had just this overwhelming, passion and love and joy for ministry. Gosh, you guys know how much I love online ministry. I love teaching people how to study God's Word. I love encouraging others to spend time in God's Word. I love spending time in God's Word. It is, it's what brings me the most joy. It's what gives me purpose and energy, and it's what I'm called to do, right? But I have felt so, I don't know, it's like that passion and excitement has just been sucked out of me, since this whole move. And what I've been thinking about a lot, and I wanted to share it with you, and it's actually, Paul said this in 2 Timothy, it's chapter 4, verse 7, and he said, I fought the good fight, I finished the race, I have kept the faith. That is something that I have been thinking about how, our spiritual journey, look, he doesn't call it a fight for nothing, right? He doesn't say, look, you're going to go on this little stroll right down the beach. That's what your spiritual walk's going to be like. No, he said it is a fight. It is a race. We are meant to endure to the end by keeping the faith. And so, look, if you are going through something like this, I wanted to encourage you. My husband reminded me actually of this verse today that I wanted to share with you. It's from the book of Psalm, and it's chapter 51, verse 12. And David said this. He said, restore to me the joy of your salvation and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. I love that. And it's really funny because since I've been here, and I haven't really been just having this overwhelming desire to just study God's Word. It just hasn't really been even when I read it, it's I feel like it hasn't been I don't know, coming to life for me like it normally does. But I have been listening to a lot of worship music. And anytime I get to one that really specifically talks about salvation, it's like I instantly kind of start to become emotional. And it's like I can sort of, it's like it brings everything back to perspective, if that makes sense. Where I start thinking, yeah, like that is actually what this whole thing is about. Like, it's not just about, I have to get up and I have to read my Bible, or I have to pray, or I have to go to church, or I have to do, all of these things. That's not what it's about. It's about salvation. That is what brings me joy. And because of my salvation, that is what makes me so excited to read God's word. That's what makes me so excited to communicate with him, to share his word with others, to teach others how to study God's word and how to hear God's voice. And that's what it's about. And it's all about that perspective. And that really has been my prayer. Restore that in me. Give me that willing spirit to sustain me. And so that now has been my prayer. And I was really thankful for him speaking that into my life this morning. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys, if you're going through that right now, maybe pray that as well. You need that too. I love to hear from you. I love to be praying for you. And maybe you're a newer Christian and you haven't been through that yet. Look, you will go through that season. We all have that where we're like, we just, feel on top of the world, and we just love being in prayer, and we love, reading God's word and talking about God and everything. But then we hit this point in our life where we're just like, I just feel like off spiritually, and it's kind of like when you get sick. Like, that's the way I kind of feel. I feel like it's like I'm getting over a cold or something, but like spiritually, I'm feeling just kind of off and kind of like, not good. And so if that is you, again, I'd love to be praying for you. But if you're a newer Christian and you haven't been through that, you will go through that. And when you do, don't be discouraged, because we all go through it. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad Christian. It doesn't mean that you're a failure at this Christianity, which I also tell myself. But it doesn't mean that. It just means that we're human, and that we go through these struggles, and we go through these challenges, and we go through these obstacles. And it really is a race. It really is a fight. And so we have to fight the good fight and finish the race with faith. So I love you guys. I'd love to hear from you. I'm sorry it's been so long. I'm back on it. I'm making these videos for you guys. I'm excited, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.